Hey now! What is up, everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka Review King MB, and even though I'm doing the Tyler Perry reviews, check out my Twitch! No! Kick out!
One of my buddies
No!
yesterday got to meet Happy Hogan and Han Solo.
What the fuck? How did I lose? This time I am here to talk about another Tyler Perry film, I Can Do Bad All By Myself. This is a 2009 film that, should I even say this each and every single time? It's the same shit, right? Produced, written for the screen, which means that this was a play first, and so he adapted that play script into a movie script. I'm sure that was hard. And directed by a Sir Tyler Perry. And not only is he doing all that, but he is also acting in this movie. Not as a person that, a regular dude who is not viable, believable. No, Madea makes a return. Now, again, I thought I watched every Madea film. I thought I did my research. I thought I searched every movie that Madea, the character, appeared in. I guess I missed a couple, because sure, you might have had a cameo in one movie and another appearance. No, this right here, Medea's in this movie a decent amount of times, enough to be a supporting character. So, wow, there are somehow even more Madea movies, and this is just one of them. I'm not going to pretend like this is the last one. There could be 5 more, for all I know. You also get Tyler Perry playing Joe, the brother, and even though Joe is way more amusing and entertaining to watch compared to any other characters, this is still a lot. Some of this stuff, it's like we feel like we've been there and done that with these scenarios and situations. This time, it's these 3 kids that break into Medea's house, and they're like stealing food or stealing stuff, and you come to find out that they're hungry because their grandmother, who is watching them, has not been around for 4 days. And so there's this whole thing. I mean, it was obvious that the grandmother was dead. I just was waiting to see how we got to finding this out. So Madea brings the kids to... Their mother is also dead. So she brings the kids to her aunt, or their aunt. And their aunt is played by Taraji P. Henson, who plays April. She works at a nightclub. She's a singer, I think, or something. Or maybe she's a hooker. I don't really know what her profession was. I forget. But you see that she's not in a position where she gives a shit about kids, where she wants kids in her life. And another scenario that if this isn't the same exact scenario that Tyler Perry has already done, it's very similar. It's somebody who starts off in one way, doesn't really have their life together, is in bad shape, she smokes and she drinks all the time, and kids in church is able to bring her around. It's like, fuck, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Luckily, Taraji P. Henson is a good enough actress. I mean, she's a great actress, actually. She might not always pick the right projects or the right roles, but her ability to bring something is really what gets you through this film. She does sort of save it to make this as watchable as it ends up being. She has this kind of sort of boyfriend named Randy, who's played by Brian White, and he's a dude who is married, but she knows that he's married. She doesn't really care. She's more just like, whatever, he pays my bills. That's the extent of the relationship. But this Randy guy, he was a piece of shit. At first, I thought he's one of the more tame pieces of shit boyfriends that Tyler Perry writes for. Usually they're hitting and abusive and just non-stop horrible insults left and right. This guy just seemed more like a creep and more like a just disloyal type dude, but wasn't too extreme until you get to near the end of the movie, where he not only makes a pass at the niece, but he full on grabs her and tries to do stuff with this niece, and that was really gross. That was bad. So yeah, he reached that evil quota that Tyler Perry had to get to. There's another character played by Adam Rodriguez. I've never seen this actor before, but he comes into the country. He's a Hispanic character who is looking for work and looking for a place to stay. The church asks if he can stay with Taraji P. Henson. And the whole movie, you're just seeing that he's good with his hands. Not like that. I mean, maybe he is. I don't know. Because all you really see is that he fixes up the house. He fixes up rooms. He's a handyman. He's working to live at this place, right? And you see him have interactions and conversations with Taraji P. Henson, but you don't get a sense that they're dating or that they're going to fall for each other. Not really. There's one scene where he takes her out to the lake, but they seem more on a friendly level than anything else. I could not believe the last 5 minutes of this film is him sort of professing his love for her. She gets angry about something. They have a falling out. Then she goes back and apologizes. Then he says, I'm in love with you. And she has this whole thing throughout the movie of not being able to say that she loves anybody because she's never loved anything or she's never felt love, some bullshit. So then she says, well, I think I'm in love with you too. I'm like, huh? They're in love? Really? I don't think they kissed or had any sort of real romantic scene at all. This is wild. This is a record. I know romantic movies, romantic comedies, because it's a movie, they speed stuff along, but this is a record for how fast these characters fall in love. And then you cut from that scene of them kissing for the first time, and you cut to them getting married. And that's literally the end of the film. So I don't know what to make of their relationship. I don't even think there was a relationship to speak of until those very moments. Very forced, very rushed, not earned. The actor, though, Adam Rodriguez, I thought he was fine. He was fine. He was a decent enough guy. Some of the other cast, you have Mary J. Blige, who it was nice to see her in an acting role. Growing up, my sister used to love Mary J. Blige and bought every single CD of hers, and so I knew her music, especially from the '90s, very well. So it was nice to see her here. I thought the two scenes maybe that she had to act, she was good. Uh, but I guess we can get into Gladys Knight playing another role. She's somebody from the church. I'm mentioning her. I mean, acting wise, she was fine. But the thing about her and Mary J. Blige being in this movie is that I guess Tyler Perry felt that because he had these two singers in his movie, he could have just let them act and save the music for the soundtrack or save the music for the credits. No, Tyler Perry decided to have at least 5 or 6, at least, musical numbers. And it wasn't like this was a musical. I mean, because Taraji P. Henson worked at a nightclub, you had Mary J. Blige singing a song, you had Taraji P. Henson singing a song, you had Gladys Knight randomly show up and sing a song. Then you cut to church scenes, like 2 or 3 church scenes where each of these same characters were singing songs. The pastor, he's another singer, Marvin Winans. He's singing songs too, and I'm just like, oh my god. By the time it got to the church song with him, that was like the 5th song. I said, I have to skip. Skip. I just couldn't deal with these songs. Too much music. It just, too much. And the whole idea of like, hey, if you just go to church, everything's going to be okay. I'm not going to get on people for having religion or using religion to get out of problems or get them through their situations. Like, that's great. But how simplified Tyler Perry presents the whole idea of you go to church once and then because you're there, you're saved. It's ridiculous. It like, let's do something else. Every one of his movies has a church scene like that, but this was probably the worst example, the most egregious. And I don't know. I'm not going to say I hated this movie. I feel like this latest run of Tyler Perry watches, I'm not using hate a whole lot, but I am noticing the level of repetition with the scripts. I am noticing that it's just rinse and repeat with a lot of these scenarios. It's just, The one movie where he did do something original, which is the previous film, I feel like this was a massive step backwards. I hope, though, that Taraji P. Henson, if he's going to bring her back. In fact, though, I saw Acrimony, and he had her in that acting like the craziest fucking bitch I've ever seen in my life. So never mind. Don't waste Taraji P. Henson in these watered down, dumb scripts that Tyler Perry writes in a weekend, if that. So, guys, yeah, let me know in the comments below if you too saw I Can Do Bad All By Myself. I can't believe I can remember that title off the top of my head. It's so long, unnecessary. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later.
Time's changing quickly for me and you. The future's come, it's come for you. The moment upon your very eyes, the life around you are hypnotized. I take my 1,144, hands spread wide open, line up the floor. The things come fast from here on out, no more delay or benefit of doubt. The prophecies, they talk to this time. I've been waiting patiently to bust.